Can the XRP ledger target 8 billion people? Now, we've been saying all the money, all the derivatives, all of it's coming to the XRP ledger, and it's going to be a beautiful thing, right? And this has come from us, and this has come, the dent in the universe quote from Ripple, making XRP a world reserve currency as liquid as a G10 currency. We've heard it all, right? Well, in this episode, I got a quote from someone outside of Ripple, the creator of XRPL Labs, formerly Zum, now the Zalman wallet, Vitze Vin, making a bold statement. Now, it's one thing if it's Ripple, right? Ripple's always saying stuff. But this time, we got somebody else outside of Ripple within the XRP Ledger ecosystem with a big, bold target being set for our community, and I just love to hear it. So we're going to get right on into it. This is update number 3 on the day. Make sure you have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. And earlier today, I just dropped an update on the petrodollar agreement. Is it over? Is it still live? And my main point was, I'm not waiting around to watch them rip up the agreement live on television to see that they're already doing deals. And literally right after I dropped that update just a couple hours ago, we see this one out of Russia. Sergei Lavrov and Foreign Minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, hold a meeting on the sidelines of the BRICS Ministerial. So this was today. Russia and Saudi Arabia getting together. And like I said, I'm not waiting around. I don't wait around for the mainstream media to tell me what I already can confirm by reading the data, doing my own research, putting my big boy pants on and being an adult, and not waiting for somebody else to tell me what to think and what to do and how to invest accordingly. We're already moving, and the train has already left the station, like I've been saying. The deals are already being ripped up, metaphorically speaking. The countries are already trying to join BRICS. Even if they haven't formally put in their letter, they're dropping the US dollar. We don't need to wait for mainstream media to tell us what we know is happening, what we can observe before us, and it's right now it's a matter of taking action before this opportunity escapes us. Now, so this is taking place, and Chad Steingraber reminds us that the Saudi Arabian Central Bank has been a long-term partner with Ripple, including the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority agreement, this going all the way back to 2018. The SAMA will also provide management and training on RippleNet for any other bank interested in joining. And actually, we actually saw the CEO of the Dubai Financial Center basically talking at Swell just this last year about how Dubai has become this new hub for Ripple, and they're just absolutely dominating in that Middle East, North Africa region. It's called MENA. Absolutely dominating. Now, another region that they have stepped into, we have a couple ODL corridors fired up in France, Sweden, part of the Eurozone, but I just dropped an update yesterday about the historical elections that just took place in Europe, and after I put out that update, this news came out that Belgium's Prime Minister, Alexander De Croo, has resigned. This comes following the European election results' huge sweep, and the incumbents in big trouble here. France President Emmanuel Macron has dissolved parliament. New votes are going to be set here. And so very interesting situation taking place in Europe. As you can see, we're watching and observing all these deals, all these big political shifts on the world stage right now are live. It is happening. We do not need to wait for the headline to come across that television to see what is taking place. Now, what got released here today, Apple unveils tap to pay between iPhones. Now, for many of us, we knew this type of technology is coming, right? And and the integration of crypto wallets, this integration of tap to pay, next thing we know, we're going to just put the chip in our brain or put the chip in our hand or whatever the deal is going to be next. But for right now, we're using these phones, right, to send all these payments. But Apple unveiling tap to pay, new rollout of some stuff here today from Apple, including the integration of ChatGPT, OpenAI integration. And so the AI, the crypto revolution is here, this fourth industrial revolution that just takes everything real time. Instant settlement, complete transparency. It is all here. It is happening. And you're seeing the incumbents like Apple that can deliver this product to the masses at scale have finally gotten their ducks in a row. And now they're ready to unveil it. And it's been pretty interesting to watch that. More on that later. In regards to cryptocurrency, I wanted to talk about this. The booted Solana validators lost 99% of their stake. What happened here recently is that some validators were actually kicked off of Solana. I forget the activity that they were doing, but I guess it wasn't approved by the Solana Foundation. And Stake with Pride says 90% of Solana validators are subsidized by the Solana Foundation in perpetuity. This is not bootstrapping. This is not decentralized. They are all KYC'd and required to follow rules. Is this decentralization theater? Hashtag Solana. And we've been calling it a VC pump and dump since the very beginning. They did it here again to make all of the FTX creditors whole. That's my, tinfoil hat conspiracy, I guess, even though I don't think that you really need to be a conspiracy theorist to see what just took place. What are the fundamentals for Solana? Is it decentralized? No. And it doesn't have fundamentals other than it got hyped up. It's been flush with VC liquidity and VC funding, and they've activated the actors, the musicians, and the celebrities to show you a mother token from Iggy Azalea, whatever other token they were going to launch. Never mind. I was going to say something about Elon Musk and something else, but I'm not going to say. I'm just going to let you guys do the deal over there for the Solana crowd and everybody invested over there. I hope it works out, but just on the fundamental basis, we continue to see that the infrastructure behind Solana is centralized, they shut out these validators, and these validators lost 99% of their stake, basically just theft. Now, obviously, the networks have different consensus mechanisms to provide different levels of decentralization for Solana through and through. From the way that the network runs to the way that the funding has been done, from all the projects that have been launched on it, we see that it kind of all leads back to the same VCs that really pumped this sucker up from the very beginning. And I just find it unfortunate that we got another blockchain here that continues to struggle to find decentralization like we've been able to achieve over on the XRP ledger, which is funny because we're considered the centralized bankers coin, when in reality, our ledger is very decentralized. Very decentralized. Now, continuing on that thread on centralization, well, BlackRock now holds 304,000 Bitcoin worth over 21 billion for their spot Bitcoin ETF. So that is over 1% of the total Bitcoin supply, well over 1%. It's probably actually close to the 2%. I don't know what the total circulating supply of Bitcoin is. We know that there was 21 million originally. A few million have been lost, at least, maybe even more. And so based off that, this is well over 1%, approaching 2% of the total supply that BlackRock now controls. And so how quickly is BlackRock going to reach 5%, 10% of the total supply of Bitcoin is pretty incredible to see. And when you add in all of the other Wall Street ETFs, right, you can see the centralization of Bitcoin is just increasing. Right. The idea was that as these networks grow, they're supposed to become more decentralized, more nodes being added. But we tracked this when China banned mining. It was like, okay, this is good because it was centralized in China, but then it just became centralized with some of the largest mining pools here in the United States. Right. And so we're just continuing to watch how these networks like Solana continuing to scale decentralization, and Bitcoin kind of going in the opposite direction that it was supposed to be heading. But I guess now it's not supposed to be decentralized peer-to-peer payments, right? Now we've switched the narrative to a store of value. Now they're trying to bring utility. Now they're trying to scale it up with Lightning. A lot of the programs are failures, and Lightning is just centralized. So once again, the fundamental base thesis, core thesis for Bitcoin and what it was supposed to be has been abandoned a long time ago. Is Bitcoin still going to be successful? Looks like it's still going to have a role, going to have a place. But for me, the upside potential isn't as attractive as some others. And as far as upside potential, listen to this clip here from Brad Garlinghouse explaining why the upside opportunity is hard to predict. It's hard to fathom how big this actually is when the institutional money comes in. Once again, this is at CoinDesk. And I want to reiterate the point. There's a reason why he's still calling out Doge. There's a reason why he's still calling out ETH and reminding everybody that back when we were on a level playing field, that XRP did surpass Ethereum. There's a reason why he's saying the memes are bad for the space. It's not because XRP is going to fail and going to get surpassed by Dogecoin again, and Dogecoin's going to overtake XRP. If that does happen, it will be temporarily. They're only about 6 to 7 billion away in market cap, so they actually are fairly close. But the point being here, guys, I firmly believe that Brad has a level of confidence to come on the stage and continue pounding these points home, calling out everybody in this space, calling out Elizabeth Warren, calling out Ethereum, calling out Dogecoin. It's not because we're going to fail, we're going to fade off to the distance, and we're not going to be known for surpassing these coins in market cap, surpassing these coins in utility. And just like Jimmy Vallee said about consensus, and Molly Elmore said, there was XRP Ledger ads on the back of every seat. And they did all sorts of advertising leading up into consensus and through a huge display, XRP Ledger consensus, hackathon, and the whole 9 yards. But let's listen in here on Brad Garlinghouse speaking on the upside potential, and a shout out to King Vale for clipping this one up for us.
Shocking to me that the United States, the largest economy in the world, represents the bottom decile of regulatory clarity. I think when you get the real unlock of the United States economy and you get the real institutional money flowing in, I think it's just hard to predict some of the upside opportunity. But shocking to me that the United States.
And so this is the thing. When we go conservative with it, which is what I like to do, and what I think Brad has laid out, a conservative prediction for this bull run for 2024, right? He says that we'll reach a $5 trillion market cap in 2024. To me, that's conservative. That's a short-term time frame within the next 12 months. But long-term, there's no telling how many trillions and tens of trillions are going to come into the space. And you're seeing more and more folks realize how big these markets truly are. And then it's just a matter of arguing and speculating over how much of that is coming to your given blockchain that you've invested in. But as far as big, bold predictions, we're used to that from Ripple. We're used to that from Brad Garlinghouse. We're used to me saying crazy stuff, right? Well, how about Vite Vin from XRPL Labs? A different perspective on building. He's going to be showing up at Apex, and he's going to be making a statement right here. He says, "We crawled, we are now walking. What would running look like?" XRPL stage. And he says, challenge your perspective and rethink how we leverage the XRP ledger. What if we could target 8 billion people instead of just blockchain enthusiasts? And that's got to be the objective for mass adoption, making this so seamless, so easy that folks don't even know what ledger is settling the transaction on the back end. The back end's all done, and it's settled up in 2 seconds. They don't even have time to think about which blockchain was this settled on. That's where this goes. That's the key path to mass adoption. And with the XRP ledger getting utility added at the layer 1 decentralized protocol level, we are perfectly positioned for this bull run, for institutional DeFi, all the way down to retail adoption of just simple DeFi programs that are available for us. On the high end, the top end, we have the institutional adoption being spearheaded by the likes of Ripple and others. Beautiful setup. I love to see it out of Vite, XRPL Labs, targeting 8 billion people. That's put a dent in the universe type of talk, and that's what I'm talking about, folks. If you appreciate this update, please make sure that you like this video on the way out if you haven't already. Let's subscribe, hit that notification bell, and everything's at my website, zachrector.com. I will see you in the next one. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.